years. And many people brought up the fact that scouts watched him throw while 0 NFL teams were present to watch Colin Kaepernick throw earlier this month. Manziel addressed that over the weekend, tweeting, "This will probably cause an uproar, but I'm tired of the Kaepernick versus myself comparisons and anger. Cap is doing amazing things right now, changing lives and donating millions of dollars. His impact off the field from a societal standpoint is legendary and straight admirable. Standing up for people who often don't get heard, and for a race that continuously deals with problems after problem in this country for centuries. This world we live in is absolutely crazy, and I believe what he's doing has an amazing impact. The facts of the matter are, the reason he's not being signed are non-football based. The guy took a team to the Super Bowl and continuously wreaks havoc on the NFC West and the league. Maybe he had a bad year 2 years ago, but he's not a bad player, and that's a fact. In my opinion, the guy still has a lot in the tank, but it's not my place to say what he wants to do with his career. All I can speak for is myself and trying to turn my life around from the depths it was in. God bless, and have a great Saturday." Shannon, do you like Manziel's tweets?
I love Johnny Manziel's tweet. I think Johnny Manziel is what he tweeted is what a lot of athletes and a lot of people are thinking. But the comparison, Johnny, is not between you and Cap as a player. They're looking at the possibility of the opportunity that you might get presented with as opposed to one that's going to not be given to Colin Kaepernick. If you look at the play on the field, it's not even close. If you look at the behavior off the field, it's not even close. They're judging Colin Kaepernick worse than if he abused a woman, worse than if he got a DUI and killed someone, worse than that if he abused animals. That's how they're treating Colin Kaepernick, because we've seen guys with those kinds of history be given an opportunity. And yet, no, I'm very hesitant to use the term second chance, because Colin Kaepernick doesn't need a second chance, Skip, because I don't believe he's done anything to ruin the first chance. Colin Kaepernick, okay, San Francisco 49ers, they wanted to go in a different direction. Okay, that's well within their reason. I got no problem with that. But to sit here and say Colin Kaepernick done something so egregious that no team should give him an opportunity, that's what they're saying. Colin Kaepernick threw in Texas and nobody showed up but the person that was there that was taking the picture. Johnny Manziel shows up to University of San Diego and 2 guys that's going to be later round draft picks, if drafted at all, and 13 teams show up. That's what the hypocrisy and the people are seeing. Johnny, if Johnny's turned his life around, so be it. But Skip, I see better than I hear. I've heard him say this before, but we have yet to see it. But I'm with it. Hey, America's all about second chances. Colin Kaepernick doesn't deserve a second chance. Hell, he's on his first one. But he deserves an opportunity to show people that he can still play or he can't play in the NFL. And unfortunately, what it appears to me is that these owners, and we're going to talk about one of them a little later in the show, Skip, these owners have it in their mind that what Colin Kaepernick did is the worst of the worst. It's the egregious of the most egregious. And that's shame. That's laughable, because I cannot believe a guy. And when you see all these guys, Skip, that's not even had a fourth of the career Colin Kaepernick had, and they're still getting jobs as backup. They're still getting opportunities to play in the NFL. That's what I don't get. And then they try to feed you, well, it's talent-based. Stop it. I mean, you might fool some of the fans, but you can't fool the players, especially the players that are playing the game or the players that played the game or the people that cover the game, Skip. You covered the game for 40 years. You know when a guy can play or he can't play. But this is a shame. I'm glad you tweeted this, Johnny. But I get what you're trying to say. But they're not comparing you as players. They're comparing the possibility of the opportunity you might receive, while Colin Kaepernick probably will not get that same opportunity.
I agree with everything you said except for your conclusion. I didn't like what Johnny tweeted. I thought he should have left that unsaid.
Left that part out?
Yeah, let us leap to that conclusion, because in the end, let's go back to the beginning of his tweet. He starts off saying, I know this is going to cause an uproar. I fear it will. And to me, it should. So I told you on Friday, I was offended by the mere thought of putting Johnny Manziel in the same sentence with Colin Kaepernick. So we got Johnny Kardashian over here, who fell into substance abuse hell and abused a woman in Cleveland in his first 2 years and flamed out in ways we've rarely seen a high-pick quarterback or first-round pick quarterback flame out. We have that versus a Colin Kaepernick who came within one controversial non-call of winning a Super Bowl, and then the next year came within one slight underthrow of getting back to the Super Bowl.
Right.
That's pretty great, man.
Yeah.
So I can't even, like, the mere thought of connecting the dots between these two, just, it makes me sick. Mm-hmm. But what Johnny is doing with his tweets is, he's not so much trying to laud and applaud what Colin has stood for. He's basically trying to say, hey, give me a break here. You know, don't blame me for what the league is doing to him.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
And he's saying, don't disqualify and derail my comeback attempt just because Colin's not getting the chance that I might be getting now.
Right.
It's kind of desperate on Johnny's part. And again, I don't think he needs to go there. I think you should draw that conclusion.
Right.
Don't let him try to do it because it's just a desperate act on his part. So he's going completely over the top now with humility and contrition to try to win back some sympathy. As he said the other day, I said this on Friday's show, he said, this isn't my second chance, this is my 35th chance. Johnny said this. Mm-hmm. Well, it is, because whatever leeway he had early in Cleveland is gone.
Right.
So he's saying this is the last of his last chances. So these were desperate tweets to say, hey, world, don't blame me for him.
Right.
You know, like, don't put us together. So it's kind of, it's basically what we're saying, except he's doing it for self-preservation instead of to say, look at what Colin's done.
And just kept the thing. Normally, what we see is that if a person gets to a certain place, he shows he's good at what he does, mm-hmm. and it doesn't happen. Okay, he has to move on.
Yeah.
But what has Johnny shown in the NFL that he deserves a second chance? We keep talking about, well, he was so great in college. Oh, he won the Heisman Trophy. Okay, I'm college. Okay.
He has shown nothing.
Right.
Zero.
At least Colin Kaepernick is, well, what has Colin Kaepernick done? I've taken a team to a Super Bowl. I've taken a team to an NFC Championship game. Mm-hmm. I've beaten Aaron Rodgers. I set an NFL record for the most rush yards in a playoff game by a quarterback. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of things that Colin Kaepernick can say, well, in the league, I've done this. Sure. I should be given an opportunity he should be given an opportunity to dispel or to prove you right or wrong. One way or another, Skip, he should be afforded that opportunity. Yeah. And if he comes back and someone gives him an opportunity and it doesn't happen, say, well, hey, we gave him a chance, it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
But to sit here and to say, well, nah, he can't do it, or the NFL is a talent-based business, when you're pulling guys out that have been retired for 2 and 3 years, when you're pulling guys out that hadn't played meaningful snaps since 2012, obviously, people, you can't fool all these people. They like, hold on, wait a minute. I haven't even heard of this guy. Oh, this guy's terrible. And he gets an opportunity and Cap can't because he tried to bring attention. Think about what's happened over the weekend, Skip. All these students going to D.C., all these students that was in New York. Think about Colin Kaepernick did a very similar situation about a different topic, and he's been criticized. And we're applauding a lot of us. Not everybody's happy that the kids are doing this. They're trying to change the narrative to something else. But that's what it's about. But see, Skip, if you don't here's the thing, and I've said this before. If you don't like the guy, you won't like what he's standing for. Yep. And if you don't like what he's standing for, it will turn you against the very guy. So that's what we're seeing. Some people don't like Cap. So what he's standing for, they don't like that cause either. Mm-hmm. Some people don't want to talk about the cause, and because he brought it more to the forefront, they don't like him. Mm-hmm. So and that's what it is, Johnny. They're not comparing you for talent to talent or what you guys have done once you were in the NFL. They're comparing the possibility or the likelihood you get an opportunity on another team, as you said, your 35th chance. Yep. Colin Kaepernick still on his first, and he doesn't get anything. That's the problem that people will have.
The truth is, Colin Kaepernick should now be given a chance to start for an NFL team, not to win a starting job. He's earned the right to become a starter for a team that needs a starter, and we know there are a bunch of teams 10 of those.
But
right?
But this notion, well, if you bring Cap in, you have to have two offenses.
Yeah.
If you want me to believe that Mike McCarthy called the exact same game plan for Brett Hundley as he did Aaron Rodgers, that's absurd.
It's absurd. Johnny Manziel, at the very best, should be given a chance to make a roster. That's
Right.
the very best.
Right.
To your point, it's just pro football teams are reaching back into his glorious Heisman Johnny football past, saying, could he recapture the Johnny football magic we saw at Texas A&M against Nick Saban twice? That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Could he, at age, what is he, 25? Could he reach back?
And that's the thing. I mean,
Okay.
Come on. Let's be real. I mean, Matt Castle. When was the last time Matt Castle's been good, Skip? Like you said, he did go to the Pro Bowl his first year in Kansas City. But
That's about it.
That was 2009.
At this point, I don't think anyone's even asking for him to be a starter. He should have an opportunity to be a backup. Like no
You know
one's
what?
even demanding that he's a
Even
starter.
that's offensive to me. I just can't imagine Colin having to hold a clipboard. It just gets.
Let him hold. He started out holding.
I mean,
the clipboard.
yeah, and you can make the argument based off of his last 2 years in the league that that's not an appropriate spot for him to be. But the reality is, everyone who has any objectivity at all knows that this isn't about football.
Exactly.
And if you're okay with your team having terrible quarterbacks and not signing Kaepernick for not being about football, then you're just okay with losing.
Yeah.
One NFL owner made some controversial comments this weekend.